Hi everyone, here's a quick update from Tuesday's City Council meeting. During the mayor report, I discussed the City Government 101 course that we're going to offer on August 17th at 5:30 in City Council chambers. This course will only take about 30 minutes and we'll go over some of the information that you should know about our municipal government and the city charter. Also, during the mayor report, I talked about zoning and planning and how they're working right now on a sign ordinance and trying to clean up the leftover signs that are no longer needed, no longer used, that have been abandoned, that are around town so that we can make Alpine beautiful. The Zoning and Planning Committee is also working on a historic overlay for the downtown area. The zoning and planning meetings are the last Monday of every month at 5:30 in City Council chambers, and you're welcome to attend those as well as all City Council meetings. There was a public hearing for a special use permit for a short-term rental, and then in the consent agenda that was approved. I want to remind everybody that when an item is in the consent agenda, it is not discussed. It's just something that council has already received background information on, and the consent agenda is either approved as is, or an item may be pulled out for further discussion after the consent agenda has been approved. For information and discussion items, we had Karen Cantrell, who's the chair of our Parks and Recreation Board, give us a report. The Sunshine House gave a presentation. The property tax rate has yet to be determined. We're still getting information from the county. And then we also discussed the fiscal year budget and some future workshops that we want to hold to help everyone understand water production and delivery. So this will be for the public. Wastewater and effluent water production, road maintenance and the potential equipment that we might need if we are to self-pave, and then key actions needed to align employee pay and benefits so that we can retain employees at the city and so that people want to come and work for the city. We approved some resolutions, including health insurance for the employees, the transfer of equipment over to the county for the fire department, and other resolutions such as telecommunication and broadband contract with BBT, the health reimbursement account for employees, and then also public safety answering points of service. It's an interlocal agreement with the Rio Grande Council of Governments. A representative from the Rio Grande Council of Governments presented information to the council. Since this was an action item, a discussion was allowed, as well as discussions are allowed with our information and discussion section. Regarding the budget, there's some information that you might want to go back, and it's all located on the city website, and take a look at. It's good to know what our history was with the city and the tax rate and the monies brought in. From 2010 through 2013, council approved the very same tax rate and just depended on the increase in property values to bring in more money to the city to keep up with inflation. That particular rate was 0.5423 per $100 valuation. 2013 to 2014, they also went with a rate that was actually lower because they wanted to bring in no new revenue. So they wanted to bring in the same amount of money that they had the previous year, thinking that that would help keep up with inflation. So that tax rate at that point was 0.5385. So the tax rate actually went down. 2014 through 2015, it was the same, 0.5385. So the increase in money that the city received was $123,446 because that was an increase in property values and new properties being added. 2015 through 2016, it was the same rate, 0.5385, and that brought in $28,534 that year. 2016 through 2017, the city had the same rate, 0.5385, but that year there were more new properties and a property value increase, and so that netted the city $129,997. 2017 through 2018, the tax rate was reduced again to 0.53497. And the city earned $102,340 more than the previous year because of an increase in new properties and in the tax rate. Same rate for 2018 through 2019, bringing in $101,647. And then 2019 through 2020, it was the same thing again, 0.53497. 2020 through 2021, it was raised a little bit, the tax rate to 0.553753 per $100 valuation. But that only netted the city $18,113. The thing to keep in mind is that every year there's a little bit of inflation and prices continue to increase. The city needs to make sure its revenue keeps up with the increase in prices so that the city can afford to do things such as pave roads, which is one of the items that the residents want according to our town hall meetings. The number one item from those town hall meetings was repair the wastewater treatment plant, which is a necessity. In order for us to increase economic development and bring in businesses, we have to make sure that the wastewater treatment plant is functioning properly. The next thing that the residents said that they wanted in the town hall was to keep and retain and attract qualified employees. So we needed to raise the rate of pay from $13.50 to more to attract employees. 2021 through 2022, there was no new revenue. And so the rate went down to 0.508345 per $100 valuation. That raised $2,297 for the city. At this point, inflation's increasing a little more rapidly than it had in the past. 2022 through 2023, the increase was for the residents to think about, are we bringing in enough revenue as a city in order to afford to pave, to afford to self-pave? We will need more equipment. Are we raising enough revenue as a city to work on the wastewater treatment plant and fresh water, as well as correct what's needed with the wastewater treatment plant so that we can provide effluent water to places such as the golf course or Sewell Ross or maybe even Alpine Creek down the line? So those are the things that council is trying to determine when we set the next tax rate. So it's important for you to come out to the August 15th City Council meeting so that you can have your voice heard on what you want us to do with the tax rate. If we continue the same fiscal policies that we have in the past, then we're going to have the same standard of service that we've had in the past. Are we happy with that? I don't know. So come out, make your opinion heard so that council can decide what to do. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Stay safe.